Storm Boris has caused deaths, evacuations and power cuts as heavy flooding hits Central European countries. Storm Boris swept through Central Europe, causing flash floods, deaths and mass evacuations across the region. At least one person died in both Poland and Austria, and 4 are reported missing in the Czech Republic. In the eastern Czech region of Moravia, thousands were evacuated as the storm brought some of the heaviest rain seen in years to the region, with more than 250,000 households left without electricity. In neighbouring Poland, towns were evacuated and emergency services were deployed to fight the flood. Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk appealed to those refusing to evacuate amid the storm and said the state would provide financial help to those affected by the extreme weather. In Austria, dozens of municipalities were declared disaster zones by authorities as residents were evacuated. A civil defense alert was issued and a firefighter died while responding to the flooding. At least 8 migrants lost their lives whilst trying to reach the UK by crossing the Channel from France. During the night, authorities detected a boat carrying dozens of people in distress off of the French coast. A rescue ship was sent to the scene, and emergency services provided medical aid to 53 migrants on the beach. Despite the care provided, French maritime authorities reported that 8 people had died. 6 individuals, including a 10-month-old baby with hypothermia, were hospitalized following the incident.
J'ai jamais vu ça de ma vie, et puis vous vous retrouvez face à 8 victimes, alors qu'ils ne sont pas venus chez nous pour dire de mourir, ils sont venus pour essayer d'aller en Angleterre, et voilà, donc...
The survivors are from Eritrea, Sudan, Syria, Afghanistan, Egypt and Iran. They were taken to a local sports hall in France, and an investigation into the incident was opened by French authorities. A long-range missile fired from Yemen landed in central Israel in the latest reverberation from the nearly year-long war in Gaza. There were no reports of casualties or damage, and local authorities said operations resumed as normal shortly afterwards. A fire could be seen in a rural area of central Israel, and local media showed images of what appeared to be a fragment from a missile or interceptor. Yemen's Iran-backed Houthi rebels have repeatedly fired drones and missiles towards Israel since the start of the Israel-Hamas war, but almost all of them have been intercepted over the Red Sea. The war in Gaza has rippled across the region, with Iran and its allies attacking Israeli and US targets and drawing retaliatory strikes from Israel and its Western allies. On several occasions, the strikes and counterstrikes have threatened to trigger a wider conflict. Iran supports militant groups across the region, including Hamas, the Houthis, and Lebanon's Hezbollah.
Hundreds of protesters have gathered in Paris to denounce rape and sexual violence in France and around the world. The rally was held in solidarity with victims of rape, with some protesters carrying banners saying, "Victims, we believe you."
We need to talk about the rape culture and the fact that after 7 years of Me Too, we already know that there is not a special type of victim, but nowadays we are collectively realizing that there is not a special type of rapist.
The demonstration was inspired by Gisèle Pellicot, the woman allegedly drugged by her now ex-husband over the course of a decade so that she could be raped by dozens of men while unconscious. That case has shocked France and become a symbol of the country's fight against sexual violence. Since the beginning of the trial on the 2nd of September, Pellicot has been praised for her courage and composure. Her decision to hold a public trial, she said, was in solidarity with other women who go unrecognized as victims of sexual crimes.